Hey there, everybody. Rachel Bogle here at the WMBF First Alert Desk. We have several stories to get to here, so I'm going to go ahead and get right into it. So starting with this one, an investigation is underway into Horry County Schools' special education program by a federally recognized advocacy group. So the executive director for that group, which is called the Disability Rights Network of South Carolina, does confirm to us this is an ongoing investigation. But that also means, since it is ongoing, that means they also cannot provide any additional information about why it's happening or what prompted it. However, we did speak with some parents who have children in HCS's special education program who not only applaud the investigation, but say they think it's been a long time coming. They claim their children have not been treated properly in the program. We did reach out to Horry County Schools, but so far the district has refused to answer any questions or provide a statement. Our calls have gone unanswered, but we will let you know when and if that changes. So we shall see. I'm going to pop myself back up here because we will have a couple mug shots, and when we do that, I'll have to switch things over to the computer. But quickly, since I do have the Facebook stream up, I always invite you guys to just get in the comments, say hello, just like Vera did. Good evening, Vera. Always nice to see you here. And if you just want to chime in, say hello, let me know what your weekend plans are looking like. Feel free to share there. You can also ask questions pertaining to any of the details of these stories, and I'll be able to kind of answer you in live time. All right, let's get on to our next story here. So a woman is charged with attempted murder and weapons charges as well after allegedly stabbing someone in Myrtle Beach. So this is a look at her mugshot here right from WMBFnews.com. Police arrested this woman. This is Lashenda Lucas. That happened Thursday. It's in connection to an incident back on April 9th at a home on Gray Street. Again, we're talking in Myrtle Beach here. That's where a homeowner told officers they'd found a victim on their front porch with a stab wound in their back. A police report shows they told officers they believe the victim may have come from the nearby woods where they say people would often camp, and they said they'd previously heard people fighting on occasions in that area. So records show Lucas remains in jail after a judge denied bond on the attempted murder charge. I'm going to pop myself back up here for a moment as I switch things over here. So this next one, I'll have a mugshot for you, but also some video as well. So a man accused of killing a Robeson County woman nearly 30 years ago died in his jail cell overnight. So the sheriff's office has requested the North Carolina State Bureau of Investigation look into Kenneth Locklear's death. So this is Kenneth Locklear right here. As you can see his mugshot on our website. I'm going to go back to the video now. So staff at the Robeson County Detention Center and EMS responded to a medical emergency in his jail cell at 2 a.m. this morning. So really last night, overnight there. So we're told they provided life-saving measures, but were unsuccessful, and ultimately he was pronounced dead. So to give you some information here and to kind of some background on the picture of the woman you're taking a look at here and how they are connected. So Locklear was being held on a first-degree murder charge for the death of Margaret Bell, who you're going to see in that picture frame as we kind of go through this video here on your screen over and over. So at the time, she was his mother-in-law. So authorities say she was found stabbed to death in her home on Tom M. Road back in 1996. But Locklear wasn't arrested until February of this year in connection to this case. Authorities say DNA helped investigators tie him to the crime, which had been cold for decades, until they picked it back up in 2018. And as you can see, got him under arrest and in custody, again, just a matter of months ago. So the medical examiner's office is scheduled to conduct an autopsy to determine Locklear's exact cause of death. But at this point, we do not have a lot of additional information about the circumstances of that medical emergency. All right, over in Darlington County now, a now former Darlington police sergeant has been charged with breach of trust and misconduct in office. So here is a mugshot here, finding himself on the other side of the law. So Mark Hayes Jr. had been with the Darlington Police Department since 2018. He also had a previous stint before that with the department from 2011 to 2014. But SLED arrested him yesterday following an investigation into his alleged actions in October of last year. So listen to this kind of course of events here. So that's when he executed a search warrant at the Blue Island Smoke Shop. So he's accused of taking nearly 800 cartridges of suspected THC vape pens during that search of that smoke shop. Then in December, he allegedly took someone who was actually a confidential informant to repair a water heater at his home. After that repair was completed, he reportedly took that informant to the police department's narcotics office and gave them 3 cases of vape pens from the evidence room, which photographs indicate that they were likely the very same ones that he took during that search at that smoke shop in October. So that was apparently what he was trading in exchange for those repairs. But again, did that trade with a confidential informant, and that resulted in him being arrested yesterday. Records show he was released from jail the same day after posting bond. And as you heard right at the top, I said he is now a former sergeant with the department because Darlington police confirm Hayes is no longer employed by the police department following his arrest. All right, gonna pop myself back up here for a moment, and we can kind of lighten things up. What do you say? I think that sounds like a plan, huh? All right, so let's talk baseball and the future for baseball here in Myrtle Beach. So Horry County leaders are set to vote next week to determine the future of the Myrtle Beach Pelicans. County Council set to hold a meeting on Tuesday where the agenda shows after an executive session, they're going to vote on an ordinance to approve a new lease agreement between the county, the city of Myrtle Beach, and the Pelicans baseball team. They are also expected to vote on a resolution supporting modifications to Pelicans ballpark in order to meet the requirements laid out by the MLB. So again, this vote set to take place on Tuesday. We will update you on the outcome of that. All right, and of course, since we are getting into the Easter weekend here, if you are looking for some nice family-friendly Easter fun, look no further than Spring Fest happening tomorrow in the Market Common. This year, organizers say it is going to be even bigger and better than ever. The event actually got moved to a ball field at the Buddy Steyer's Athletic Complex to make room for all of those additional activities to get a little more spread out so you can really enjoy those festivities. So, kids will get to take part in Easter egg hunts going from 11 to 1. Organizers say around 75 vendors and food trucks will also be on hand. They'll also have crafts, inflatables, face painting, and a DJ. And of course, a special appearance by the Easter Bunny. Again, all of that happening tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Admission is free. So is parking right across the street at Crabtree Memorial Gym. So it sounds like a whole lot of fun. And if you have any outdoor plans this weekend, whether it's going to Spring Fest or anything else, you are looking pretty golden because we are looking warm and dry for the weekend. Take a look at that. So we're talking highs in the upper 70s to near 80 at the beaches, mid 80s inland. I have a feeling that our beaches are going to be nice and busy this weekend, and we won't see any rain chances returning until about the middle of next week. So again, if you haven't made any outdoor plans, you really cannot go wrong this weekend. So I hope everyone has a great Easter weekend with family, friends, or whoever you're going to be spending it with. All right, let's go ahead and talk about what we have coming up for you at 11. So if you don't know, the deadline to get your real ID is coming up in just a matter of weeks. That's coming up on May 7th. Here's why it's important. If you don't have yours, the Department of Homeland Security says you will not be able to board commercial flights within the U.S. or be able to access certain federal facilities. Over the last few weeks, we've already been reporting on other states that have already seen long lines of people rushing to try and get theirs before that deadline. So tonight at 11, our Julia Richardson is going to give us the full rundown on how things are looking at the DMV branches here in South Carolina. If you still need to get yours, just so you can be prepared for what you might be running into and what you need to bring with you if you need to go and get your real ID. Also, she'll explain how to determine if you already have your real ID, because they actually have been issuing these for a couple years, so maybe you forget whether you already got yours or not. So she'll walk you through what to look for on your ID just to figure out, do you have yours or do you not? Do you need to go get one? So she's going to kind of run us through all those details and everything you need to know coming up. If you are able to stay up a little bit longer with us tonight for WMBF News at 11, but for now, that'll do it for this update from the WMBF First Alert Desk. Hope to see you back on air soon and have a great Easter weekend. See ya.